Okay, I'm going to do a really quick review of something I'm not really qualified to do, but I'm going anyway, just because I like this product a lot. If you're a recreational diver like I am, yeah, you're not some tech diver or mixed gas or I don't know, closed circuit or whatever, you're just a basic recreational diver. I basically do warm water dives in the Caribbean a few times a year, a little bit of cold water diving, but it's always no deco. Nothing really all that strenuous, just kind of looking at fishes sort of diving. But if that's you, and you're looking for a wrist-based computer, I highly recommend this product. Now, most people, when they look at wrist-based computers, dive computers, are going to go to Sunto. And I'm sure they're great products. I've never used one, but lots of my friends have them. By far and away the more popular choice. But this I bought used, and I get comments on it all the time, and I noticed when I was diving that a lot of dive masters, a lot of instructors also have it. And there's some good reasons for it. One, it's a cool watch. Like, it looks really good. Just quality is just excellent. It's all stainless steel, screw down case back. This screen you might not think is all that legible, but underwater it is perfect. It is just really nice to use, super intuitive. If you do some diving at all and maybe you've borrowed a dive computer, like if you're on a dive boat and they'll loan you a dive computer, what you'll get is often an Aladdin version of an Aladdin computer, if you've used those. That's basically what this is. So it's the same kind of computer if you're used to that. The Suntos are a little bit different, and I find them a little bit more complicated, to be honest. But I just love this. It's kind of hard to tell if you notice. It actually looks pretty nice on the wrist. I get comments on it. I've got a friend who's got like a Rolex that asked me what it was. Hey, that looks cool. The Suntos don't look that great on the wrist, I'll be honest. To me anyway, they look like a dive computer. This looks like a watch. You know, it looks like a big watch, but it's pretty easy to wear. Really nice quality rubber strap. You can also get a Velcro web strap with it. I like this version better than their new version, aesthetically anyway. They've got the new product's called the Mantis, I think. If you go to Scubapro's website, by the way, so this is Scubapro Meridian. But the new product is a little different. They've kind of put stuff on the bezel, which I kind of like the fact this one's nice and clear. It comes in like an anodized black finish. It looks really cool too, I've seen. But for basic recreational diving, if you're using air or nitrox, it'll do nitrox up to 100% O2 if you want. And it'll do intermediate stops. You can set the conservative level. I can't show some of this stuff. You know, some of the settings I can show. Battery charge. So that little icon in the upper left that you've been seeing for a while, that's a battery telling me that I shouldn't dive. So this should be like 5 bars. It'll take a long time for those two to go down. Batteries changed about a year ago, and I've maybe done, I'm gonna say 30 dives on it in a year, and then worn it around a lot. So yeah, the battery maybe would be nicer if it lasted a little longer, but it's been good to me. And you could certainly dive with those two. It tells you not to in the manual, but it will take a while for those two to go down. But it's giving me a warning to say, hey, you better check your battery. I think when it gets down to 1 battery, it won't go into dive mode anymore, if I remember. I'm going to try to, like when I put it in dive mode, like you can probably tell there's a little water sensor. When it gets to about 3 feet underwater, it changes to dive mode. So it'll look like that, but then obviously since I'm not underwater, it's not going to show me, but it tells me what kind of gas it's expecting right now. And then if this was actually underwater, you'd see you know, your depth, no deco time, elapsed time, and then it'll do it has audible alarms, which you can definitely hear underwater, no problem. So when you get close to the intermediate stop, so let's say you go to 100 feet, you start making your way up, it's going to tell you that it recommends an intermediate stop at about, I'll say 40 feet or something, or 50 feet for a minute or two, and then it'll kind of give you a warning, and then it'll expect you to kind of pause at that depth, and then it'll calculate it down, and then go again, and then it will. You can skip the intermediate stops, there's no problem. It's just a recommendation that it'll have. But you can't skip the, or it doesn't like you to skip the safety stop at 15 feet. So, and same thing, it'll give you an audible warning. It'll tell you when safety stop is, and it'll start counting down the time. See, I guess that's the one pain with it. See, that was just basically my finger just touching the sensor. If it's on your wrist and it's kind of hot out or something and you bump your wrist into it, it'll set that into scuba mode, which isn't a big deal. Like it, you know, nothing really happens. You know, you're not changing anything, but it is a little bit of a pain. You can kind of easily get it to change, but other than that, I shouldn't say much, but it is cheaper than the Suunto D6s anyway. It doesn't do integrated air, I should mention. So if you're into the integrated air thing, it doesn't do it. I don't know if their new Mantis product does or not. The claim to fame of this thing is actually that you can use your heart rate with it. You can use a heart rate monitor with it. I've never done it, but apparently you can, you know, hook a heart rate monitor up to it, and it will make a more personal algorithm for your diving. I'm sure it's cool, but I've never used it, but that's really its kind of claim to fame. But otherwise, I think it's just a great product. Nicely priced. I bought this used. A guy dove on it like 3 times or something and then bought something different. I bought it used for, I think it was like $325 or something. You can get a cradle, a download cradle for it that kind of sits on the face of it, and just kind of, you can download that way to logbooks and whatnot. I don't ever do that. I just kind of there's a dive planner too. I just go to the logbook here generally, and it'll show, so that's cumulative dives on it, so I've got 42 dives on this watch. I think maximum depth, maximum dive time, total time underwater kind of thing, and then you can just kind of scroll through, so it'll show your last dive. But man, really nice product. So anyway, I'm not a super dive geek or anything, but if you're a diver, a recreational diver, and you're looking for a watch / computer, highly recommend it. And it'll cost you less than a D6, won't do integrated air. You know, I don't know, I compare it to a D6, but it's probably more somewhere between a D4 and a D6. I think it's still less expensive than the D4, to be honest. So it does apnea, so you can do free diving if you like with it. Yeah, so I hadn't seen a whole lot of reviews on it, and I thought I'd put something out there because it's hey, it doesn't suck. It's a good product. Okay. Thanks for watching.